actors are all about developing empathy. It's part of what we do. We put our feet in other people's shoes all the time.
We all are born with a degree of wanting human connection, and part of human connection is emotional connection. And to me, that's what empathy is. It's just emotionally holding hands and saying, I'm here with you, even if I don't completely understand.
When we're particularly effective, we're not standing outside of a character, we're actually diving in. The folks from Leadership and Character in the law school got in touch with me, and for about a year we had been doing simulations. It's really important for the law students to develop empathy because sometimes on paper law can look cut and dry, and it's very different when you have to look at a human being and you have to deliver bad news. Lauren and I got together and decided that what we needed to do was develop a course. Part of the class is rehearsal for the things that we do in the law school. Lauren wrote a terrific scenario for the first simulation.
So all of us were playing a character who was president of their student body who had been removed after they were arrested at protest.
You've appealed that decision and it was rejected, and that you have filed a grievance because this feels like a targeted punishment. So
we each created a character that would have the same general beats as each other, but would play differently and have different experiences in this same scenario.
They already helped you out with the arrest, okay? And because charges were dropped and nothing came of it, there's already some trust built between you and this attorney.
You know, Hamlet knows the end of the story. The actor playing Hamlet knows the end of the story every time, and part of what we have to do as actors is still fight for the end, even though we know it's probably very futile. I think you as actors go in and try to break their hearts, see if you can crack it. All right, we'll circle up, sound and movement, quick. All right, who's in? Mirroring emotion as well, mirroring. One of the things that Lauren and I discovered when we were coming up with the title of this class is it's character development and improv. And we liked the fact that character development had a double-sided meaning, that it was character development, but it was also character development. That's what we do in this class. We're developing character, but we're also thinking about aspects of character. The key questions that we'll be asking are what? What are the key questions? Are the stakes high? Did I buy it?
Yeah, I would say it's believable.
When did you pull on my heartstrings? When was an effective empathy moment?
I figured that's something I'm allowed to do. I like that. That's a right that I have to protest and peacefully assemble.
We've kind of had a rocky relationship where we've never really been close. He's been really close with all the other students, but never really me, which I thought was weird.
It just feels that I am being punished for standing for what I believe in, for my politics.
I know that we all kind of read the scenario last week and went, oh my God, that's not fair! You know, we understand that, but as an attorney, if for a second they see a whiny, petulant, then she said this, what does that do to the empathy?
We were kind of going into this already upset about what had happened, and we were looking for guidance, looking for help, looking for a way that these lawyers could make this situation right.
You know, just as a reminder, this arrest is completely off your record. You know, that's never going to hold you back, hopefully in the future. And now you're as I said, just an even better position because you have this story, you advocating for your rights that many people, one, aren't gutsy enough to do, but two, that, they haven't, shown themselves in that light before.
So what do you expect him to do besides be proud of himself?
Besides being proud of himself? I mean, I'm more trying to imply that your voice matters. You know,
feel like it.
Of course, and I understand that.
They were trying to do their best to help us through this, whether or not there was anything legal to be done. They had to still make sure that we were interacting in a way that would help us leave that situation better than we came in.
There's no way that he can do that just because, I was exercising my First Amendment right.
You're a great student, you're a great person. I know that you're going to have a lot of different opportunities out there. Despite this being taken away from you, from the legal side, unfortunately what I can tell you is that there's really nothing that we can do based on the facts of the situation. Frankly, I just don't think that there's really a good legal case here that you can try.
I thought it was cool that your guy just allowed you to sit in silence a little bit and didn't fill the space, just kind of let you be there.
It was loaded silence.
It was loaded silence when you were just, I mean, you were just kind of despairing in silence. And he was just, you've done a Pinterest play recently. That's right?
That was not a pause, that was a silence.
Generally, we've been really thrilled at what they're bringing back because they are feeling it personally, as opposed to just seeing this as being an acting exercise.
So, going back to the simulation, where did you see empathy? Both, and it can show up in a lot of places. It could show up in the way you felt empathetic towards your character, in the way the law student treated you with empathy.
He went first, and his lawyer was very much like, I want to hear your story, and I want to know all of the details, and I want to care. And mine, he listened, and he was great, and he was like, that's awful, I'm sorry, like, that's not right. And then he was like, let's talk about how you can move forward from this. And that solution-focused aspect made me feel more heard and more acknowledged than someone just being like, yeah, and I hear you, and that sucks.
Part of what sets actors apart is that they constantly choose empathy.
Sometimes empathy requires you to be active and be like, okay, I've never been to a protest, I've never been arrested, I've never gotten asked to step down. You do not make it to law school without having felt lost, without having felt injustice, without having unfairness, without having felt prejudice of some kind. Sometimes you have to take the specificity of the situation from a broader view, whereas like your guy was able to be so specific, hers wasn't, but it can still be empathy.
Empathy becomes like a habit to actors. It becomes so natural to actors because we're constantly choosing it. One day it stops becoming a choice because you do it every day.
Sometimes theater folks are told by the outside world that the skill set that we have is to do plays and to go put on funny costumes and do the things that we do and we love to do. And so to be able to have a class where we focus specifically on those skills and how they're applicable for law students, and then to watch the law students go, wow, that was helpful, I think has really also helped our theater students acknowledge the skills that they come into the room with.